A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rajvin and Waran. Communication, as you know, plays an important role at the workplace or at home. Now, in this current situation, communication at workplace plays an important role. To to uh, further explain further explain this topic, we have today on Rajvin and Warren. Me and Warren would like to welcome our guest speaker for today. She is none other than a trainer, and an editor, and a founder. She is also the founder of Wellington Resources. So let's welcome Kamini Katiswaran.
Hi, Rajvin.
Hi, Kamini. Thanks for joining us.
It's my
Uh,
pleasure.
yeah, so how are you today?
I'm good. I'm great. It's been a good day so far. How about you?
I'm fine too.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, Kamini, tell us more. Tell us more about yourself.
Um, People know me as a trainer and editor. All right. So I graduated from University Industry Selangor Unicel. And then after that, for a while, about 2 years plus, I was in two private universities, tutoring or lecturing in the English language. All right. And then after that, something was still missing. So someone introduced to me to a training job in the aviation industry. They were actually a service provider under Malaysian Airlines. So I applied with very low confidence, but I was chosen. I was selected in the interview. And then I continued working there for about 8 years on full-time basis. And then I quit upon still searching something, all right, trying to do training on my own. And I loved writing, all right, so I also got opportunities to write. And that's how Wellington's Resources started, upon me leaving the job at the training firm for the aviation industry. And sometimes on and off, I do some part-time job for them. So that's a little bit about me.
Wow, that's very insightful. I understand that communication is very important at the workplace. So I'm sure it has taken it means a lot to you. So if I may ask, what does communication at the workplace mean to you?
Okay, this is a very significant question. All right, let me just share. Yeah, sometimes we think communication is just what you talk, what you say. It's all very verbal, but communication, it's not just verbal. It's also non-verbal. All right, and it's also got to do with writing. All right. So I believe in positive energy very much. You may have seen Rajwin, like I talk a lot about positivity on my page. Okay. So I think communication is one of the most significant point in actually creating a positive work environment. All right. So whether it's your eye contact, even sometimes when you go to workplace, right? And then if people frown at you early in the morning, just the reason why they frown at you is probably because they haven't had their morning coffee. Okay. That's all. That's the reason. But when the others see, oh my God, Kamini is like frowning. What's her mood like today? Okay. So there's like, a bit of negativity there already. So I believe communication plays an important role in setting a positive work culture. So that's communication to me, not just verbal, but also non-verbal.
Communication in a workplace is very effective. So, how effective do you think communication is in a workplace?
Okay, so when we talk about communication, as I mentioned just now, like non-verbal and verbal, of course, to a certain level, your verbal language is very important. You must be able to send information to the rest of them, all right, at workplace. But apart from that, when I call effectiveness, it's like how you're communicating with your colleagues, okay, how your body languages work. When someone is talking to you, are you paying attention to them or not? All right, it's a culture nowadays to hold our phone all the time, right, Rajvin? Like
Yes.
everywhere we go, we hold our phone, right? So at workplace, can you imagine if a person that you are speaking to, a colleague, when you're speaking and then they are like holding the phone? So that means that there's already a lack of communication. All right. So you're not setting the positive vibe there. So this is what I meant by like workplace communication, and also many other aspects that's involved in communication.
That's very informative and very nice to hear. I'm sure people out there, co-workers or anyone in any industry will or in the workforce would
Mhm.
like to know what are the tips you can give for communication in the workplace.
All right, when it comes to communication at workplace, number one would be if you're speaking to someone, all right, make sure you have your ideas in your mind, all right, when you are speaking or before you speak, okay? And one of the rules to communication, Rajwin, is actually listening. I always tell my training participants, if your colleague is presenting something, if your colleague is actually bringing up something to talk to you, all right, first of all, you have to listen and not react. And this doesn't apply only in work, even now, right, in virtual platforms. Like a lot of meetings, everything is taking place online now. And then we already have technical issues, all right? So listening is very important. Okay, so the first rule is listening. All right. Second rule is pay attention. Okay, have your contents in mind. All right. And other parts of body language, your facial expression, make sure you have eye contact with them. All right. It's a norm nowadays to like switch off camera, isn't it, when you actually talk online? If possible, okay, we are already having lack of human contact. It will be great if we can actually switch on our camera and see our colleagues, okay, and ask them how you do. Because end of the day, after this whole thing finishes, we are going to go back and work in the office, isn't it? So we want
Yes.
that positive engagement. So this is what communication is, an aspect of communication.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly right and very rightful. I know that you have a very excellent team at work. So I'm curious to know how do you actually communicate with your team at work?
I have two people actually, which we work very closely. All right. I always tell them one thing. We are all in this together. We are learning together. All right. So if you have any dissatisfaction, tell me, talk to me. All right. And I always remind myself, I'm a communication trainer. I cannot put emotions before me when I speak. I think that's very important. We have to learn how to split emotions and also, whatever work content. Okay, so I always have this habit. If I'm not happy or if I'm, feeling that something is not right, I will communicate with them. I'll say, okay, guys, we need to talk. Let's have a chat moment or let's have a Zoom session. All right. So if they feel that something is not right where we can improve, they will always present it and say how we can improve. If I feel that they are not doing something right, I'll always voice it out to them. So it's very important to take care of your work relationship. Okay, if you feel any sort of dissatisfaction, open up and speak. If we don't speak, and then we keep it in our mind, right, it's going to like create some sort of discomfort among us. So we don't want this.
Yes. I understand that effective feedback and good communication skills are one of the communication barriers.
Right.
So, um, do you have any communication barriers that you are experiencing in your workplace, and how do you overcome them?
Okay, barriers, I would say, like right now, one of the challenges, all right, I'm not going to say barriers, but like one of the challenges that I face in online platforms is like gauging clients or gauging my colleagues. Although at times I'm looking at them as I speak, but I don't know what's going on in their minds. If it's a physical work environment, it's different. You know, you are there to quickly gauge, to quickly tweak the situation and whatnot. So one of the challenges is like not being able to like understand or gauge, the facial expression of your client or facial expression of your colleague. All right. And probably how I overcome that is listen. And if you have anything, always put it on the table and say, okay, this is the things that I have. So although you have doubts, it's important for you to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very useful information for me as well. I
Yes,
remember
yes.
I remember when I first started, there was one subject,
Mm-hmm.
communication in the workplace by itself, and
Okay.
I learned a lot from my lecturer as well. Yeah, so I think that's very, very important to for the people to know. So,
Right, right.
um,
What is
a lot
what do you think your challenge is, Rajwin, when you talk on online? Che, now I'm like asking you questions. But it's
my
just
my challenge is like you don't have much interaction.
that's true.
And you don't know, you can't know whether the person is uh feeling okay or not okay. You
Yeah.
you just you just can't you just
Make
can't
them.
can't know no, you just can't. It's very different from face
True.
to face.
Yes,
Face to
yes,
face,
yes.
you can have the immediate non-verbal gestures. Yeah, you don't know the non-verbal gestures. Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly what we are all going through right now. You're right, you're right. Very true.
thanks to this pandemic. Yeah,
I think I always believe one thing, Rajwin. When you get out of your comfort zone is when we all learn. So, although
yeah,
I've been a communication trainer, I think one of the greatest challenge that I've embraced is communicating through online platforms. Like for example, I still do training on communication at workplace or communication training. One of the topics that we teach is actually body language, all right, non-verbal communication. So I still have to like do my body language actions to make the participant engage and understand what I'm talking. All right. I've like never been this. I mean, I never even imagined this would happen. But here we are. We just have to embrace whatever it is and make do of what we can. We can't be just showing pictures or videos all the time, because we need to interact, right? Like what you said, interaction is important, right, Rajwin?
yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would want to improve their communication skills in their workplace or at home.
Okay.
So, what are the three golden rules that you would like to say for people to improve their communication skills? Yeah, whether it's in relationships or whether it's in any part of their lives. What would you?
Okay, all right. So it's a very good question. Three important tips. Okay, before that, we have Lim Wee Tim who's saying good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lim. Thanks for watching. All right. Three important tips. Yeah. Okay. As I said just now, communication is like we have non-verbal, we have verbal. All right. And then we also have written. So my first tip for verbal. Okay. Many of them come to me asking or saying that English is important, but I can't speak English, or I don't know how to speak English, or I'm shy to speak English. All right. And my advice is watch something that is fun, watch something that is short, all right, for you to practice your language, all right, and practice to people. Like have those sessions, communication sessions at home. I know we all come from different background and we all have different first language. Okay, like my first language is Tamil language. All right, Rajvin, what's your first language?
English.
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 Okay,
English,
English.
Bahasa Malaysia, and Punjabi.
Okay, all right. So you have three first language there. Okay, yeah. So we all come from different background. Okay, so if you want to improve your English, your verbal communication, um, watch something, read if you can. But if you're not a reading person, at least watch. All right. You want to improve your non-verbal communication. The most important thing is having eye contact when you're talking to people. Okay, when I know phones now has intervened our life so much. All right, technology is in our life so much these days. Okay, so but put technology aside when you are speaking to people. Okay, so that is verbal, non-verbal. When it comes to written communication, I would like to highlight here, when I say written communication, it's like your emails. So one tip is, like, please do not use short forms in your formal emails. I always, come across this thing, and I'll be wondering, like, all those WhatsApp language, right? Like through THRU, and then I got to know like TBC, and then there was another one like AWK. All right, so all these things, make sure you don't accidentally use it in your email. So this would be my three tips. Number one, speak. Okay, watch videos. Number two is eye contact, the most important thing in body language, non-verbal etiquette. All right, and also don't use short forms when it comes to formal emails. Yeah, and we have a few audience here, Rajwin. We have Tejwinder. Hi, Tejwinder. Hi, Sangari. Hi, Vishnu. Yep. Can you see, Rajwin? Yep.
I can't see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. So very good sharing. If you were to summarize these questions in
Mm-hmm.
uh, three words, what would that be? Any final words that you would like to advise people who who are working with a team about communication in the workplace?
Okay. I'll just share something with you. This is something that I always share with my fellow training participants. All right. This is like the key to everything. Rajwin, in an average, right, how long do you think a person spends at work? How many hours?
12 hours.
12 hours. All right. Average, I think they spend about 8 hours, but there are people who spend 12 hours. There are people who spend more than 12 hours. Okay. Some of them, they actually bring work back home. All right. So in one day, if and in average, someone spends 8 hours, okay, in 5 days is 40 hours. All right. And if it in 1 month, okay, that's like 40 times 4 weeks is 160 hours. And then you can multiply it by the number of years. Okay. How can we expect communication to be, sore and negative, and then all this is going to accumulate negative energy? We don't want such communication at workplace. We want positivity. All right. We want positive and healthy work environment. Okay, we want people to be able to experience good mental health, stress-free working environment. I think this is very important when it comes to workplace. If we are not happy at work, we are not going to be productive. This is what I always believe. All right, so I think it's very, very important to keep your workplace positive, healthy, and productive.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Kamini.
Thank you so much. There's a question here. How different is communication, both physical and virtual? I think, like what we have discussed, when it comes to physical, we are there. We can immediately change the situation. Okay, we can immediately gauge people's gestures. All right, but when it's virtual, this is the challenge. Okay, so how you overcome communication in virtual would be listen. All right, listen and try to understand what the person is trying to say and clarify if you need to. Yeah, this is the most important thing.
Yes. Thank you, Kamini, for sharing. Now we have come to the second part of our show. Um, I would like to share some. First, I would like to share some uh, tips from my personal experience. Then we'll do some laughter exercise and close the show.
Sure, sure, definitely. Anne is
So,
saying, thanks, Anne. Yes, Rajvin.
so as a finalist for Miss Amazing Malaysia Season 2, I believe that communication plays a pivotal role in plays a vital and pivotal role for for even for anyone at home or any. Communication is vital, and communication is the key to success. Now, um, here are some tips on how to improve communication in the workplace. Communication, communication in the workplace can be improved by practice, practicing gratitude as a trainer and running uh, this show with Rajvin and Warren. I feel that patience and tolerance is very, very important when it comes to communication in the workplace and understanding a team member. You have to smile and laugh always. And when it's speaking, mm, go near to the person but maintain social distancing. Um, the, the next uh, the next the next the next one is laughter exercise for communication in the workplace. So when you have when you have your when you have got your promotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start when you have when you receive news from from your boss
Mm-hmm.
that you got the promotion. You're so happy, and you go laughing, ha ha ha, and then you said, very good, yay. So next time, company, if you would like to practice if you would like to practice promotion laughter with your new staff, here it is lah.
Okay. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, nice.
So, and then the next one is teh tarik laughter.
Okay, that's interesting.
When you are getting your coffee and when you're getting your coffee and your teh
Mm-hmm.
tarik is very hot, hold two
Mm-hmm.
imaginary glasses
Mm-hmm.
and then start laughing. Pour it into a cup and start laughing. Ha ha! Ha. Yay! Very good. Yay! So yeah, that's the end of our show. If anyone has any, Kami, thank you so much for sharing. And
Rajvin, thank you so much. Rajvin and Warren, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a great platform to actually share a bit on communication at workplace.
yes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thanks everyone for watching and posting some questions and comments. It means a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Kami.
All right. Maybe we can say bye.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye,
bye, everyone.
everybody.
Stay, uh, stay safe and stay healthy. See you guys next week. Same time, same place. Every Saturday, Rajvin and Warren, same time, same place, with another inspiring guest. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.